program. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, Valhalla! Start a Booba Scuba! Penny! Gun Bunny and Shockwave! The Immortal Ghost Rider! Jill Powers, the River Daughter! Me and my monkey! Roll Tide, Keely Chow, roll Tide, my brother! The Lady Arwen Avalon! Psychodwarf 9! The Mad Doctor Adega Outlaw! There's a whole lot of cotton from the Cotton Ministries. The alien of aliens, Zeropium. Shit Bomber 2.0. It's time to wake the neighbor's voice with Southern Viking. Walter Tomascu. I didn't, brother. Project Cambridge. It's Puddle Jumper. Tyrannus Cygnus. The Jester of Sin. Chronos, what is a Chronos? Go back, TJC. It's Pats. Dude, your senator in Georgia is screwed. He lost his biggest donor and popular governor is running against him. Oh my God. The Rooster Day Bob, who's ready to cause mischief, chaos, and want destruction for all this woke nonsense. Good morning, my friend. The Wicked Wrench of the East Project Storytime is here. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing? Gary Banja Sandwich Worthington, what is up, brother? It is good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Great googly moogly, it's Positive Kandar. What is up, brother? Good morning. Good morning. It is good to see you. Holy crap. It's good to see everybody. Miss Martin Muses is here. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning, Miss Martin Muses. Holy crap. I'm trying to catch up. Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass has gifted a Loki's Mornings of Mischief membership, and that membership has gone to Eagle. Eagle was gifted a membership by Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass. Thank you, Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass, for giving that membership. You guys keep the lights on here. You guys do that, not anybody else. We're going to get into that this morning. Holy shit. There's a whole bunch of liberal social media pundits that are going the way of the dodo and begging. We're begging you, please send us money because we got cut off. The drop's been cut off. We can't get to our food source. Poor liberal bastards can't even get to their damn money because they've been cut off and the spigot's been closed and the trough's closed because they've been on the take this whole time. We all knew it. We all saw it. And now it's out there and it's proven. $250,000 feminist frequency. Holy shit. That woman did not need your taxpayer money. And then she ran a campaign saying, give me more money, and acted like she never got that money. Holy crap. What a revelation. We all knew it. We all knew what was going on. We all saw it. We all saw it for what it is. We knew these were paid influencers that were getting paid. We just didn't know how they were getting paid. Now we know how they were getting paid. Thank you so much, Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass, because you guys keep us going. Not the government, not any kind of special slush fund, not any kind of stupid bullshit that's going on behind the scenes. You do. So, brother, this one is just for you. Let's bring out the Rohirrim to welcome our new member, Eagle Skull. Loki, you've been wearing the leather long enough. When are you going to give in and start talking like Triple H? It's time to play the game, right? Okay, now, I like this. It's comfortable and it keeps me warm. It does. It's warmer than the hoodie, and it is a hoodie, so it's like a hoodie leather jacket. So, oh, look, I have a pointy head. I wonder if that means I'm a Yahtzee. I like it. It's comfortable and it fits. And yeah, keeps me warm. Keeps me warm in the morning. Holy shit. Thank you so much again, Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for being here. We're going to get into this. So Bosch, Permanent Frequency, all these loonies that have been running around screaming about Gamergate and how horrible gamers are. All this shit that we've been hearing for all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these years that we've been hearing all this shit, it's all been bought and paid for by the U.S. government. Even the BBC. I want to tell you something. The BBC taxes and fleeces the people of the UK. Okay? It's called a TV tax. Now, they are told, without this tax, you can't have TV. Okay? It's either you pay this or you don't get TV. You don't get to have a TV. You don't get to watch anything. They've been working on trying to bill them for anyone who has a subscription based on like a computer. So if they walk, oh, do you have a TV? Oh, well, we need to put you down for the TV tax. No, I don't have a TV. I have a computer. Oh, that's that screen you can watch. No, that's my computer screen. This is how maniacal and twisted these fucks are. Is that not only were they taking money from their own people for a TV tax, they were taking money from you, the U.S. taxpayers. All you U.S. taxpayers out there, guess what? They were taking money from you, too. 10% of the money they get every year comes from the U.S. taxpayer. How did they do that? How did they do that, Loki? USAID. USA ID, whatever you want to call it, USAID. I call it USA. USAID. That's how they were doing it. Your taxpayer dollars went to the BBC. Do you know why? For LGBTQ plus positivity, social engineering, all that money. They said they did the same thing with Politico. How many of you know a place where a 1-year subscription to a news service costs $38,000 per membership? I'll wait. Who here pays $38,000 a year for a subscription to Politico? We'll wait. Nobody would, in their right fucking mind, would pay $38,000 for a subscription to Politico. Well, that's what they were getting from your taxpayers' money. How do I know this? Because all the paperwork's out. We've seen it. 36 subscriptions at $38,000 a pop. That's mind-blowing. That's staggering. No questions asked. Now, here's the funny part. Here's the part y'all are going to love. This is what like Arwen's going to love. Pat S is going to love this. I know Ghost Rider's going to love this. Project, you're going to absolutely positively love this because you're here and you're in it. You're waking up from the Matrix, ladies and gentlemen, I said that the other day on X. I said, I know you're waking up to the fact that this is all the bullshit your government's been doing to you, and this is how they paid for it with your own tax dollars, and your own politicians were in on the take. This is what we've been saying for a long time, that they've been paying for all this stuff, the social engineering. But get this. They didn't have to go through any approval. What do you mean, Loki? They didn't have to say, hey, Treasury, can you approve this money we're sending here? Everything was approved. Now, I don't know about you, but how many of you can go to your bank and say, look, I don't care if I have the money in there or not. I want you to approve every purchase I make. What is the bank going to tell you? I'll wait. You guys tell me, what is the bank going to tell you when you go down to the bank and you say, I want every approval, whether I have the money or not, whether I'm overdrafted or not, whether anything's up with my bank account. Now, I'm sure there's a few people out there. I'm sure Mike Knoll with his Black American Express card could probably pull it off. But for the every average day person, can you go to the bank and you just tell them that I don't care whether the money's there or not? Approve it. Approve everything. That's what they did. All approvals. The Treasury Department just sent them the money, whether they had it or not. Don't have the money? Print more money. Don't have enough money? Print more money. So we've got lefty, socially engineered live streamers that are pushing all this bullshit and getting paid. And now they don't have the money. Why? Because all the money's been frozen. They're not getting their cut. Why aren't they getting their cut? Loki, what are you talking about exactly? I'm talking about Bash. I'm talking about Feminist Frequency. I'm talking about all of them. And if you said anything bad about them, they had the keys to go in and hit you. You know, I've been hit twice in 5 years. I've been hit twice. A lot of people don't know that. They just know about the one with the firearm. That was also pushed by the government. YouTube didn't give a shit less. YouTube didn't want to shut down all its gun videos. That was pushed by the U.S. government. They were told to. I'm talking about the first time when I brought up the coup. Yes, I did get a strike because I talked about it. And you know what? I did my time. I came back. I got through it just like Snowdub just did. But I was told I couldn't talk about something. They can talk about it. They can talk about whatever they want, right? These crazy liberal blue-haired weirdos, they can talk about all they want to. We get shut down. We get taken off the air. We get strikes. We get demonetized. They don't. I wonder why that worked that way. Follow the money. I've said it from the very beginning. Follow the money. Where's the money coming from? Who is paying for this shit? Who is paying for all this shit? Don't forget the nose rings and the face rings, apparently. I saw some girl that had more rings on her face than, by God, I've ever seen the other day. Like little bull floppy rings all over her face. She had more metal in her face than the Terminator. These are the people that they've been giving money to, and now the gravy train's over. The gravy train, no wonder they are so pissed. Not only have they lost their way to launder money in the United States, they've lost the ability to pay all the people they were having shilling for them. I remember someone saying, Loki, this guy can't be this stupid that he really believes that. Oh, yes, they can, because they've been getting paid for it. How do you think David Hogg got into Harvard? They've been paying for it. They've been promoting it. Why? Because they want to socially engineer you away from anything they don't like. And if you don't do it, they shame you. Do you know they had shame walks at USAID? They had a whistleblower come out and said, you immediately have DEI training as soon as you get there. The LGBTQ plus stuff, all that stuff. You have a month of DEI training that you have to pass before you can work there. And then let's say something slips. Let's say you're like, well, oh my God, I can't believe they overreacted about that. And someone's like, excuse me, they will do walk of shames in the office. Can you imagine living like that? At any point, the Gestapo could come down and be like, you did a bad, go do the perp walk in front of the rest of the company. Go do a perp walk in front of everyone. We're going to shame you. We're going to walk behind you with a bell. Shame. Ding, 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 ding. While you walk naked through the building and we shame you. What does that sound like? That sound like something you want to be a part of? Does that sound like something you want to be a part of? Doesn't sound like something I want to be a part of. I'm going to move this because it's just like right in the way. And now it's in the way of chat. So I got to figure out something better to do with this microphone because it's just not working out. I don't know. Maybe I can do it like sideways. I don't know. Something. But God help me. Shame walks. Shame walks at the company you work for. You know, you can talk about the way companies used to be structured and all of that. They used to have big, huge parties where, hey, you know what? We came in, we made a lot of money this quarter. Let's party. Now you have shame walks. Can you believe that shit? Performers and portrayers. Could you imagine shilling for this? Could you imagine going on social media and being paid by the United States government to shill? Boss was begging people for super chats and memberships the other day. Super chats and memberships. Please, 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 please make up the money that the government just took from me because I was a paid shill taken up the butt by Nancy Pelosi and her boyfriend while her husband watched. This is where we're at. They cut off the trough. They cut off the money. They hit them where it hurt. They cut off them all because some autistic ADHD kids and ADD kids are smarter than you are. And you never figured, oh, well, they'll never be able to connect the dots all the way, blah, 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 blah. Chelsea Clinton, $85 million. What did Chelsea Clinton do for the United States that warrants her receiving $85 million of your taxpayer money? I'll wait. What did she do? Somebody tell me. Somebody. He is. He's getting paid by the government. How many of you think that whatever Chelsea Clinton did for that $85 million was worth it to the U.S. government? I did not even know she was a thing at all. Oh, yeah. Her parents are a thing, too. $85 million. Nothing. She didn't do anything. Not worth $85 million. Not of your money. Not of my money. What did the BBC do for 10% of its take? 10%. So the United States was funding 10% of the BBC. You were paying for Doctor Who. That's what you were paying for. You were paying for Prancy Dancy Doctor Who. Not the good shit from back in the day, but this latest iteration bullshit. I wonder why it was woke. I wonder why. Because they were paying for it. It was free money. United States government paid for the damn thing. 10%. 10% of the money that we give the government every year went to the BBC. That's some shit. And they want to sit there and be like, oh, well, this is only 1% of tax dollars. Your tax dollars at work. It's hundreds of millions of dollars, you dumb twit. It's billions if you add it all up together. Do you know what funds this show? You guys do. All of you do. Why? Because I'm not out here being an unauthentic fuck that's a paid shill to promote something. When I promote something, it's because it's worth it. When I promote something, it's because it's badass. Because I enjoyed it. I'll tell you straight up, hey, nobody paid me to say this. I enjoyed this. I had a fun time. Whether you agree with that or not, it's the way it is. This guy right here. Books. Why do I promote his books? Do you think he pays me for that? Do you think I'd take a dime from him? Number one, he wouldn't offer it because he knows I would consider it an insult if he offered it. Number two, he knows I'm not going to accept it because I don't want to ever be in that position. Period. End of. So Adega's not going to come to me and be like, hey, bro, push my books. I'll give you some money. And I would never be like, hey, dude, I'll push your books. Give me some money. Why? Because we respect each other way too much, and I love the work he does. I love the work Adega does. And why was he pushed out? Because he wouldn't play the game. You want to talk about Triple H? It's time to play the game. Adega wouldn't play their game. Adega wouldn't turn his female characters into bitchy, smarmy Mary Sue's. He stood his ground and he said no. And I can vouch for that because I watched him. I watched him put a book deal on the line because he was like, no, I'm not changing the way my female characters are to suit what you think they need to be. It is a crime that Adega has not sold books. It is a crime against everything he's written that Adega has not sold more books. And why is that? Because the whole playing field was skewed against him from the start. Maybe his work will one day receive the recognition that it deserves. Maybe someone's going to pick it up and be like, oh my God, this is so good. And they'll spread it around or they'll teach it in a class about this is how you do good writing. Maybe something will happen, but it should have happened already. And it didn't happen because they're socially engineering you to believe that anyone who writes has to be this, this, or that. Anyone who does special effects has to be this, this, and that. Anybody who does this has to be this, this, and that. They've stacked the deck against you. I want to tell you something. I feel really bad for the young men out there that are going into the workforce and being feminized by these crazy blue-haired Landwells. Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're feminizing young men. And they love this idea. They want more of it. They're feminizing these dudes. Why would they do that, Loki? To make them weak. To make it to where they won't fight back. You have to understand, the UK snipped the clip when they were like, you know what, no more guns. And you know what? Gun violence dropped. Oh my God. Of course it did. Knife violence went through the roof. I heard Idris Elba talking the other day about knife violence in the UK. Guess what? Taking the pointy end off isn't going to stop people from getting sliced up. It's just not. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. Taking away people's guns isn't going to stop people from killing other people. Yet we're being told all of it's bad. All of it needs to go away. Why? Because then you're weak. You are weak and you can be ruled. The most pathetic thing you're going to see over the course of this year, unless they do something way worse than, unless they get something worse than USAID with USAID, which I don't think they can, but I will be happily surprised and like, hell yeah, if they do. Who's not opening their eyes besides CNN? Who gets paid by them as well? CNN, Disney, all these people. They're all in on the take. They're all at the trough getting fed. They're all eating good tonight. I want to tell you something. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this because this is the heart of communism. Do you know what the heart of communism is? You barely scraping up enough money to buy a roll of toilet paper and one loaf of bread, while people in the government eat high at the trough, eat badass meals every day, do lines of blow off hookers' stomachs before they run a train each night. That's how they're living. You're living the life of a nobody who will never be anybody because there's no way you'll ever be anything than what you are. You can't climb the ladder. And I honestly believe that's what they were working on here. A way to keep you weak. Because as long as you're weak and you can't climb the ladder, you can't ever be anybody. You can't ever break out of what you're in. And don't even get me started talking about Hollywood because they're in on it. They were getting money. They were getting money to travel to Ukraine. They were getting free plane tickets. They were getting free room and board. We're talking about the richest people in America, ladies and gentlemen. The richest people in America were getting free flights, free stays, free food, completely comped, completely taken care of, all paid for by your taxpayers' dollars to go to Ukraine and say, this is a fight we've all got to be in. Stand with Sleepy Joe and the short zinky guy, and that's what they did. They just paid them. We'll pay the stars to go out there and chill, and they all got paid from USAID. They all got paid by USAID. This is what your taxpayer dollars went to. This is where your money went. Are you okay with that? I'm not. I'm tired. I've been at this for 5 years. The other day, I said, we showed that clip from some of the first shows I did. And in that clip, there's a thing where Eris pipes in. Before I'd ever really talked to Eris. And she's talking about the pendulum swinging back and what's going to happen. And that's exactly what is happening right now. The pendulum is swinging. All this is getting brought out in the light. CNN's still calling it a conspiracy theory, even though we've all seen it. Even though we all know. We've all got to laugh. Why do we all got to laugh? Because this is some dark shit. It is. This is human beings socially engineering human beings to go after other human beings. We're socially engineering people to be cannibals and go after other human beings. That it's okay. I've been against cancel culture from the very beginning. Let them figure themselves out. Let them figure it out on their own. And now look where we're at. It's Yahtzee shit. It is. It's a whole bunch of Yahtzee shit. This is what they did in Germany. This is exactly what they did. They bought and paid the press. And they had the press run their shit. Humans taste like chicken? Apparently. This is what they did to you. And we all knew it. We all knew what was going on. And we were called conspiracy theorists. Oh, they're not doing that. Oh, they're not doing that. Oh, that's not what's happening. Families were broken up and never recovered during the coup because they told you can't do Thanksgiving. You can't do this. You can't do that. And the people that did it anyway were excommunicated from the families. They were culled from the herd. They were pushed off to the side while Hollywood threw block parties disguised as, oh, we're going to put it in the movie. Sorry, Loki, your second place prize trip is not for Ukraine, but Afghanistan. The other white meat. And do you know what it's done? Do you know what it's done to people? It set them up against each other. They played the board. It's masterfully played, except they got caught. I want to tell you something. Donald Trump doesn't get into office. None of this gets exposed. None of this comes to light. You're left being called a conspiracy theorist. You're left being called a wacko. You're left getting kicked off of YouTube and Rumble and all these other platforms. You're left with nothing. Why? Because you can't dare know what they're setting up. They've got people engineered to go after each other to the death, whatever it takes, and remove them. You don't want to play ball? We'll cancel you. We'll throw a me on two on you. We'll throw whatever. We'll throw allegations on you. We'll set it up to where you look guilty. Do you know why the CIA cannot operate within the United States? They can't have like an ongoing investigation. That's what the FBI is for. To prevent shit like this from happening. Do you know how they got around it? USAID. They got around it using USAID. Hey, we can smear, we can fight dirty, we can do all this stuff, and we can do it in our own backyard now because we have our little gopher to go and do it for us. Do you know that the guy that was a whistleblower that got Trump impeached for the first time came from USAID? He was a former CIA operative who went to work for USAID. And he was the whistleblower the first time that they tried to impeach Trump. He's the one who said, oh, I heard him on the phone. I heard him on the phone and he said, blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. USAID employee, former CIA operative. This isn't conspiracy shit anymore, folks. It's not, oh my God, you've got your hat on, Loki, your tinfoil hat. No, sir. These are facts. We joke about the fact that someone is giving money to Disney to keep making this train of absolute filth. I'm waiting. We know money got paid out to all these different companies. We know the BBC got money. Where's Disney in all this? Have they paid yet? Have they paid their dues, Jack? Have they paid to keep this quiet yet? Imagine finding out that, you know what, Captain Marvel really didn't break like $1 billion. It was, they were just buying tickets and leaving the theaters empty. Remember that? Remember how they said that wasn't true? And people were like, I went to the theater. I took the picture. It said this bitch was sold out. You got a picture from me of that on X too. Why? Because I was going to see a different movie and I just popped in. I just popped in the Captain Marvel thing. Went in, took a picture of the seats. The movie was playing. There was nobody there. Theater showed sold out. Why would a theater show sold out? There's nobody fucking in there. Who bought all the seats? Did our government really waste our taxpayers' money for Captain Marvel? Did it really get $1 billion payday because of our own tax money? A tinfoil helmet with horns, apparently. It's not heartless shroom. Oh, it's aluminum these days? Sorry. I'm sorry. You know, when they said, oh, you're going to have so much winning, you never thought you'd ever see so much winning. I was like, bah, rhetoric. They've opened the doors. That black little book that they've been hiding for trips back and forth to, that's supposed to be getting released. Temu has Loki horns. I wouldn't buy Loki horns from Temu if someone paid me. No Temu for me. Thank you. Of course, the government bought all the seats. They don't want you to know how badly these movies are taken. Why? Why does it matter? Because they figured it out. All you guys that play video games, all you guys that like cool movies, all you guys and girls that like all this shit, most of you don't vote for them. Most of you have your own opinions. Most of you won't put up with this shit. And if they can silence you, and if they can call you and they discredit you, that is the thing. Snowdub, what they tried to do to Snowdub was discredit him. I got a punishment for bringing a pistoli, and that's just what happened. I got a punishment because a firearm was shown on the screen. That's and they did that because they were pushing the no gun thing on YouTube. That all came from your government, by the way. Those were the orders from down on high by the princes and princesses of darkness. Snowdub, they don't want his voice out there. They don't want anybody listening to him. When I spoke up about the coup, they didn't want anybody listening to me. They didn't want anybody hearing what I had to say. Why? Because they have to discredit you. They have to discredit you, and they have to get you to shut the fuck up. Because guess what? We all run in these circles. Even if we don't like each other, we all run in these circles. And 99% of the time, when someone shows up and attacks any of that circle, usually we're all on board to deal with the problem. Not if they have us going after each other's throats. And imagine if they can do that, what they can do to the average, everyday person when the shit hits the fan. Because I know exactly what they're going to do. You want to know what they're going to do? Because they've told you what they're going to do. What they think they're going to do is when the world ends, and this comes straight from Hollywood, this comes straight from an individual that I have a great deal of respect for because of their career. After the ashes are done falling, they'll come out and repopulate the species their way. What do you mean their way? Well, we'll do it a better way. They think they can just hit the fucking reset button and everything's going to be fine. They'll crawl out of their rich guy bunkers and everything will be okay. They'll crawl out of their rich guy bunkers and everything will be okay. While everybody goes after each other, while everybody goes after each other for resources, while people start, well, there's only one food source left. They'll be okay in their bunkers, drinking their Dom Perignon, eating their caviar. And when it's all over and it's all said and done and all the violence is done, they'll walk out and bring civilization back to the world. That's not what's going to happen. I hate to tell you, but your assumptions are wrong, bitch. Old Gamer 72 Cutlass gifted a Loki's Mornings of Mischief membership. Thank you guys. Like I said earlier, you guys keep these streams possible. You guys keep us in business. You guys keep us here Monday through Friday, not the United States government and some bullshit slush fund that all these libtards are getting. The free membership went to Ku Aurelius. What is up, Ku Aurelius? Was gifted a membership by Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass. Thank you so very much, brother. Snowdub has gifted a $2 super chat. And that super chat says, can't keep a good puppet down. Skull and tuck and roll. Skull and tuck and roll, my friend. Thank you so very much. Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass and Snowdub. You guys keep the fires burning bright and you keep us on. You keep the lights on every single weekday that we go live. This one is just for you, gentlemen. Where is it? You know what? We're gonna play two of them. We're gonna fight the horde, and we're gonna give it a little skull and tuck and roll. Here you go. Bill Gates is rich and doughy. I can stir up some nicely marbled steaks, rich in flavor. Too stringy. Too stringy for me. But Frodo, that's right. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, you don't let this happen again. The liberal media. It's not the legacy media. It's the liberal media. Bought and paid for. CNN, bought and paid for. Politico, bought and paid for. Who pays $38,000 a month for memberships to Politico? No one. No one pays $38,000 for a subscription to Politico. So that tells me one of two things. Either Politico took the money, and that is their overlord, or Politico never got that money, and that money went to line their own pockets. Take a pick. There's no other option. It's not a mistake. How do I know it's not a mistake? Because they approve everything. That's not a mistake. That's a decision. They stamp their approval on everything. There is nothing that they turn down. Like I said before, who here can claim they can go to their bank and you tell them, it doesn't matter whether the money's in there. I want you to approve every transaction I make. Do you know what the bank's going to do? The bank's going to laugh. Everyone that works there is going to start laughing, and they're going to be laughing at you. Why are they going to be laughing at you? Because it's so fucking hilarious that a pleb has the balls to walk into the bank and say, approve me for everything I do. Do you know what USAID got? They got approval for everything. The Treasury Department was instructed, you do not decline anything from USAID. Everything they do is above board and approved. Stamped. You know what they did with that? They funded the liberal media. Not just the liberal media that you see in legacy media, but the liberal media that you get on YouTube. Liberal media you get over on Rumble, if they even use Rumble. Wherever they are at. They got paid for it. They got paid to shill for it. Why do you think that is? 10% to the big guy. That gets it all done. And you know what? None of this has to go through congressional approval because it's already created. It's already a part of the federal government and they follow their rules. Well, guess what? Guess what they're not supposed to do? You can imagine. This is foreign aid. It has nothing to do with here. Oh, but political can be over here, and the BBC's over here, and we're giving money to these people over here. It's all a bullshit scam. It's not just a bullshit scam, Marlena. They've socially engineered people to go after other people. That's what this is all about. They socially engineered individuals to go after other people. If you don't like someone, oh, they're not wearing a mask during the coup. Oh, they didn't go get vaxxed. Oh, you need to cut them out of your life and your whole family because blah, blah, blah. You've been socially engineered to hate your fellow man instead of working with him. I mean, my God, who does that? They literally have it down in writing, social engineering program, blah, blah, blah. It's in writing. It's right there. It's part of what they paid for. To socially engineer you into hating the person sitting next to you. For any reason you can imagine. For any reason you can imagine. Do you know what we've been about since we got here? Bringing people together. No drama bullshit. Bringing people together, fighting the good fight, saying no, we're not going to put up with this bullshit. How much money did Star Trek get? How much money did Disney get? How much money did all these entities get? We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. Your money. It's your money. I've been telling you from the beginning, you paid for this shit. I told that to Mike years ago. You're paying for this shit. He's like, I don't know what you mean. I'm like, they're giving them money. They're giving them grants. They're giving them all this bullshit. Well, you just apply for it. Why does Disney need $100 million grant to make a movie? Why does it need that money? They're the biggest, they're the baddest, they're like, oh, we own everything. Why do they need free money from the government? Because it's free. Because it's free. We paid for it without even knowing about it. And why did we do that? We just pay your taxes. Be a good drone. Pay your taxes. I'm going to tell you something. You want to talk about a revolution? Everybody pays their fair share, right? That's what it's been about this whole time. Everybody pay your fair share. Why? So we can keep the government open. So we can keep the schools open. Think of the children, Loki. So we can have money for disasters like what happened in the Carolinas. So that we'll have money to help people. We'll have money to give to FEMA. We need that. We need your help. So open up your wallets. Let us take a chunk of your money each month, each week, each paycheck. We're going to withhold this. We're going to withhold this. We're going to withhold this. And we're going to take this because we can. For the greater good. Except it's not for the greater good. Who here is happy that $250,000 of your money, it is your money, it's not the government's money, it's your money, because you're paying for the government. You're paying for the government to operate. You're paying for the government to bend you over and bang you in the ass. Who wants $250,000 of their tax money to go to feminist frequency? I'll wait. We'll wait. We'll wait a minute. Let you guys get a chance. $250,000 to feminist frequency. Millions of dollars to the BBC. $84 million to Chelsea Clinton for ballet and some other dumb shit. Who paid for that? You did. Condoms in Gaza. Condoms in fucking Gaza. You know what they're going to use those for? They're going to make IEDs out of them. Feminist Frequency got $250,000 while they were running a GoFundMe campaign. And do you think that money counted towards that GoFundMe campaign? Oh, no. Over $8 million to Politico. $38,000 per subscription. $38,000 per subscription to Politico. Like I said, who pays $38,000 for a subscription to Politico? Nobody. So you have two options. Either they receive the money, and that's why they can't make payroll, by the way, because all that money's frozen. Either they receive that money, or they didn't, and that money went to somebody else. It's time to find out where. Time to find out why. Pop says Loki just DM'd you the Festivus list of wasteful spending in 2024. I know one thing, for all the shills out there that have been shilling for all this shit, and these people. Okay, I gotta share this. I am not sorry at all that your money has been frozen. I am not sorry at all that you don't have what you need. Oh, look, it's Cookie. Yeah. Ghost towns on the government's dime. Federal government spent $10 billion on maintaining, leasing, and furnishing almost entirely empty buildings. Florida man stole $8 million in COOF relief funds to buy an island. The Department of Interior spent $12 million on a Las Vegas pickleball complex. Department of State wasted $330,000 to fund censorship of non-liberal and conservative media. There you go, Snow. There you go. There it is, right there. Go and tuck and roll, brother. The Department of Health and Human Services awarded $2 million grant to study kids looking at Facebook ads about food. $2 million. Do you want to know? I'll throw it in the chat, Pops. I will throw it in the chat. You know what I'm going to do too while you're here? Boop. Boop. There you go. Taxpayer dollars down the drain in Nevis. The Department of State spent $100,000 on a non-functioning hotel. What is a non-functioning hotel? Well, it's a building that is just there and doesn't function. Direct file fell. Congress spent $50 million to turn the Internal Revenue Service into an unconstitutional force to prepare, file, and audit your hard-earned money. Cutting out tax guys like Mike. Cutting them out completely and just taking over everything. That means you don't get a say on what's on your taxes. They do. HHS spends nearly $500,000 on a depressing study of lonely, starved rats. Department of Health and Human Services spent $500,000 to determine if lonely rats seek cocaine more than happy rats. I wonder what that's all about. Welcome to the show, all you Californians. The influencer effect hits foreign policy. The Department of State squandered $4 million on influencers. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, 4 million. I'll make that bigger because you know what? I'm like, let's make that bigger. $4 million on influencers. Why? So they could control the narrative. So they could control the narrative that they're pushing. Isn't that something? National Endowment for the Arts spent $365,000 to promote circuses in city parks. Girls just want to have funds. Department of State spent $3 million for girl-centered climate action in Brazil. Oh, well, they need that money so bad, Loki. State Department production featuring your hard-earned money. The Department of State, DOS, paid the Royal Film Commission $873,000, almost $1 million for movies in Jordan. Department of State spent $345,000 on football engagement to counter terrorism. When bailouts go bust, the United States Department of Treasury granted a failed trucking company a $700 million pandemic-era loan. That would be a PPP loan. Flocking together, DEI takes flight. The National Science Foundation spent $288,000 to ensure bird-watching groups have safe spaces, aka affinity groups. Interestingly wasteful. Americans are paying $892 billion in fiscal year 2024 on the interest of Uncle Sam's credit card. You all are paying for their spending. You all paid not only your taxpayer dollars, but your future taxpayer dollars. Why? Because the federal government looks at it like a loan. So not only have they taken your money and allocated it, your tax money, and said, well, we're going to spend it on DEI. We're going to spend it on all this stupid shit. We're going to spend it on the BBC's Doctor Who. We're going to spend. But they took out loans on money you haven't given them yet. Guess who owes those loans? Me. If they took everybody in the United States and we all paid in to take out the government's debt, it'd be about a little over $100,000 a pop. That's where we're at. That is where we are at as a people in the United States. Each one of us owes the government over $100,000 for the money the government's already spent that you haven't given them yet. So not only do you owe your taxes next year, and I think if I was smart, I'd say, look, you want to buy out of ever paying taxes again? Help us take care of the debt, and have these huge companies actually help take care of the debt and buy out the debt. You want to. This is what you do. You don't have to pay taxes again, as long as you operate within the United States. You don't have to worry about paying taxes again. Why? Because you helped them take out the debt. $100,000 a piece. Do you know why they want to do DOA programs? Do you know why they wanted to do DOA programs during COOF? Because you're not worth taking care of. They're going to spend more taking care of you and running around trying to get the money they spent back from taking care of you during the COOF than you're worth. So they just DOA'd people. This is where we're at. You're not worth $100,000. If you're not worth $100,000, at least, and can keep paying your taxes, you're nothing to them. You're nobody. Why? Because this is what they do. And they're doing it with your money. What can we do about it? Support what's happening. That's what you can do about it. They were very, very smart with how they did this. They took a department of the government and renamed it. This is what Trump did. He took a department of the government, renamed it DOGE, put Elon in charge of it. And for 19 months, they get to scour through all the computer systems in Washington and look for irregularities. Why are they looking for irregularities? Because they're going to upgrade the system and they need to know everything before they upgrade it. It was the perfect plan. It's something they didn't see coming. Oh, they can laugh about it. Well, what's Elon going to do? Elon had about 20 savants sitting there. He had 20 young autistic white dudes that are absolute computer fucking geniuses ready to go when all this shit went down. A whole bunch of ADHD, ADD brained autistic kids that know their math and know exactly what to look for. That's his team. And when his team rolled in, they tried to stop him. They tried to say, no, you can't come in here. Oh, yes, we can. Because we're from the Department of Efficiency. And we're here to look at your computers. No, you can't have access. We have access. And we're going to look at your computers. And once they figured out they couldn't stop them from doing this, that's when all of this horseshit started. Have to take Elon Musk down. Big bad Elon Musk. He's trying to take over the government. They're trying to steal your hard-earned tax dollars. No, you've already stole them and you've given them to our enemies. You've given them to movie studios. You've given them to influencers that lick your taint up and down just the way you like it because that's what they do for $1. That's what they have to do. You know what we do? We sit back, we chew bubblegum, we kick ass, and people will send us shit because they want us to keep going. They want to see us succeed. Do you know what you do? You lick taints for a living. I'd go back to working as a truck driver before I fucking lick taints for a living. I don't care how much money you're going to give me. It's not worth it. There are people still around that don't want this shit, that want to bring people together, that want to give people a place that they can call home. And that is Valhalla, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you tomorrow morning when we do the weekend review with Arwen and Dave. Bob, be well, be great, be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great Thursday. Stay thirsty, ladies and gentlemen.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.